Today we have the Nissan Altima stereo in shop for the aux jack being broken. We're going to show you how to repair this problem. We're going to start with our Phillips screwdriver. There are 2 screws on each side of the stereo here. And we're going to remove these 4 screws along the edge of the car stereo and trim plate. We have seen a lot of damage to these. Some the aux jack just stops working. It's not recognized by the button on the side. We've seen a lot of pry damage to the front face. We've seen the button that says aux jack around the edge of the aux jack be broken and missing. If that's the case, the button is not available separately. You'd have to purchase the entire faceplate for that. There are 2 styles of faceplates depending on your Altima, and one has the straight across the top, where the other is a little bit older and has rounded edges to fit around the gauges differently. We've removed the 4 screws. We're going to come back with our small flathead screwdriver, and we're going to pry up along these silver tabs on the side. The faceplate comes down and locks over these little locks, and we're going to push the face off to hold the locks loose. We're going to work our way around the edge of this radio. It'll partially release. We're going to turn it over and do the same for the opposite side. Pry underneath the face to lift it up over the locks, and the face will come off. Now we're going to take a towel here and place it down on the bench, because we're going to place the face down. And there are many screws along the edge of this faceplate, and you're going to need a smaller Phillips to remove these screws. We have a full library removal guides on our website for this vehicle. See our website. We will list the part number and manufacturer to contact for the parts to repair this. Usually it's less than a $2 part takes care of this, unless you're doing pry damage to the face and want to replace the face, and that will run $20–30 more for parts. These screws secure the whole front face on. When we take this circuit board off, it's going to be a little bit messy, but we're going to put it back together partially before we replace the the aux jack. But there are 2 connectors here at the bottom of the face, and they mate into the 2 connectors on the front of the face right here. And we have to make sure when we place the face back onto the radio that this aligns properly, so we don't bend any pins or break any connectors. And then again, that's a different story. Now we're going to push on the volume control with all the screws removed. Oh, got one left. And this is the messy part I had mentioned. We're going to push up on the volume control from underneath, remove the circuit board, and it's all going to come apart with this rubber membrane as well. And we're going to set the panel here to the side, and we're going to try and lift on the white piece around the volume control and lift this all up together. This will all unsnap, and then we'll pull the 2 controls out and keep this white piece in its proper position, because we're going to just transfer it right over to the front face. It fits onto this face. If you twist this piece around, you can figure out the way it goes back in. Next we have the rubber membrane here, and this rubber membrane is going to fit back onto the face, and there are tiny little holes in the corners of this piece in all sorts of spots that match up with little tabs, so you have to make sure that when you get this pushed back into place, it aligns with those little tabs here on the back of the face. This is what allows all the push buttons on the face of the radio to make their contact when you push the button on the outside. Now we get that set down, and we're going to come back here. Now this is the main circuit board with the aux jack. There are 7 solder connections here. What you're going to do is unsolder this connector, place the new one in. When we replaced this one originally, we ended up with major pry damage and a bunch of pieces here. They did not mess up the lighting on the sides here to light it up, so it's best to take care of this soon. Now that this has been replaced, we're going to place it back straight down onto the face. It'll push down into place. We're going to push this down, make sure it's in place, and replace all these screws and put these screws back. Start at one side, move to the other to hold the face down in place. This also keeps the plastic membrane that's on the between the circuit board and the face in place. This is a simple repair. We see this in shop still for many reasons. Like I said, the switch is still available, so you can order that and replace this and take care of it yourself. Now we got two more screws here, and then we're going to have to put the knobs back on. The knobs can be a little tricky because there's an inner and an outer. Now we got the face on. We're going to turn this back over and go back to our controls. We're going to push the on-off push for power and volume button to the side, and we're going to take a look at this piece first. If you look at it and look closely, there's like 3 tabs around the edges of it. One's here, one's over here, and one's here. And in the opening here as well, there's going to be 3 openings along the edge of this control as well. So we have to line these 3 tabs up. There we go, and it'll snap right down into place. Just so you line the lettering here on the front, and this one will snap right back down into the front. That will take care of that. We got our buttons back. We're going to check all our buttons on the face of the radio. This will make sure they have their little push to click on them. This will verify that we got the rubber membrane between the board and the face in correctly. Now we're going to come back and bring the face back. Remember, we got the 2 connectors here and the 2 connectors on the back here. What we're going to try and do is align the edges of this face to the metal edges here on the side of the stereo, and try and do this so the screw holes match up, the locks match up, and when you get it real close and it'll sort of pop into place, we're going to then snap it down into place. And don't forget to reinstall the 4 screws, 2 on each side of the face. Give it a test. Aux jack is back in good condition. Hope this video has been helpful. See our website for other do-it-yourself repairs and car stereo removal and repair. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.